Alright, in this second video I'm just going to go over a couple more things to um, further clarify a couple of things such as accessing elements and how you can initialize an array if you know the initial values that you want in that array. So just real quickly, for printing out singular array elements, you could simply just do printf element 3. So the third element would actually be index 2, right? So you could, for your own sanity, do something like that is, and then since it's type int array from the previous video, so we declared it as an int, you can do it that way, and you would just simply put var and then the index and then 2, and that's how you would print out individual elements, which is done here, except the index is based off of the I counter, conveniently. So there's that. So say you want to initialize an array and you know want it, you know the values you want to give it immediately. So you could do something like, we can say another int and we'll call it var r, and we can actually leave this blank, and you can give it the values like so. So you open up curly brackets like a code block, and then you just start typing in your numbers. 7, I'll let them match the first one here. So 7, 5, 4, and 10. Whoops. And then give it a semicolon. So it should know how many elements are in there based off of probably how many commas, right? And it will initialize with the values already given, so you don't have to do something like this. Okay, so now let's print out the values. I'll just take this var r. I'll do it right at the beginning. Whoops. And instead of taking the sum and all that, we're just going to print out each element. So var r, and I'll put %d for the I, and I'll put %d for the actual value. So this first placeholder, this one will be the counter, and the second placeholder will be the actual value of that element at I here. Okay, so let's give that a try. So here we go. Var r at 0 is 7. Var r at 1 is 5. 2 is 4. 3 is 10. So that's how you can initialize an array at the beginning and not have to say do this where you tell it how many elements, which you can do that as well. See, it works out just fine. But if you know what you want your array to hold and it's not going to change immediately, you can do it this way. And then you can change it later on by, let's say you want to add 1 to each one of these. Let's do that in the for loop. So if we want to add 1 to each of the elements, you could say take the element and we're going to assign it its current value plus 1. So now when it prints out the value here, everything should be up by 1 value. So let's see if that worked. Whoops. I added it to the wrong array. Added it to var r, which has nothing in them. Okay, so now that should work. So okay, 8, 6, 5, and 11. 7, 5, 4, 10. Yep. So you can do that, adjust them by 2, 3, 23, etc. And that's how you would do it. I'll keep that in here. if you say you wanted a zero array where you want your array to start out as all zeros, say you want 5 elements, you can just simply put 0 here. Whoops. And then let's print out the 0 array. Take this for loop, make it another one, do this, call it 0 array, and give it 0 array here, or I could stay the same. So you notice that I didn't have to change anything in here, I just needed to change the name. It's like that with every array. If you want to access all the elements of the array, you can use the for loop, and then use the counter to match up with the possible indices. So there it is, all zeros. So now let's just try making it like 5. Will it make all of them 5, or, you know, let's just find out. So no, it doesn't. It leaves the other ones as zeros, and then only set the first element as 5. So if you define something with 5 elements, and you're trying to set them all to 5, then you're going to have to do something like this. I think I need one more. You'd have to do something like that. Okay. So it only printed out 4 because my for loop only loops 4 times. So there we go. We have 5 5s now. So this only works with to give it all zeros. It only works with the 0 value there. There it is. So your in-class assignment will have something to do with initializing your array with a certain amount of values, and you're going to make a bar graph, kind of like a histogram, using your stars, loops in a loop, and you control it based off of, you know, which one you're printing. So you'd like, say if we want to make a bar graph out of this, we want to print out 7 stars, then for 1 bar, and then for the next bar we want to print out 5 stars, and for the next one 4, and for the next one 10 stars. So kind of like a histogram. So that'll give you some practice with arrays, setting values, and using those values.